Something is very fishy about this Gabby Petito case. I'm going to try and explain some clues that I think might help solve the case and hopefully discover her alive. Okay, first of all, Gabby Petito is only 22 years old and she's already engaged to this guy, Brian Laundrie. He is 23. She has recently quit her job, which is kind of strange because it was going fine. And the two of them decided that they were going to go on a cross-country road trip together. A few months back, he posted this on his Instagram story. Look at the book. This is another picture he posted on his Instagram feed. It is still public. Same book, different cover. And here he made a bunch of drawings in reference to this book. Here's another cover of the book, okay? So this guy Brian seems to be a really huge fan of the book. I'm going to explain what it's about and why I think that this might be relevant. Okay, after looking up and purchasing the book, for a quick summary, basically it's about this group of people that go on a road trip across the country, and they're trying to find this book that basically is like the Death Note kind of thing, where if you read the rhyme that's contained in the book, people will die. Two of the characters on this trip are named Mona and her boyfriend, Oyster. I think Brian Laundrie was trying to replicate this story in some way, and I think that he might have believed he was Oyster. Hear me out. Oyster is described as a nihilistic environmentalist. Keep this in mind. Also, at one point, you can see it says way at the bottom that at one point in the book, the group abandons Oyster on the side of the highway, okay? This is important. I downloaded the book, and it says in the description of Oyster that his face and hands are smeared with blood, the devil's face, and he has a red goatee, okay, because it's covered in blood. Brian also has a goatee. This could have been intentional, this could just be a coincidence. Here's a more clear image. I think that's a goatee. I literally read the entire book in one night, and some other things about Oyster is that he doesn't wear shoes. This is another important thing to keep in mind. He is noted to have calluses on the bottom of his feet that are cracked and dirty. Okay, he has dirty feet, he doesn't wear shoes. Also, on this road trip, they drive through Colorado, Kansas, and Missouri, all states that Brian and Gabby drove through on their road trip. Okay, also, there are mentions of domestic disturbance calls to the police in the book. Might just be another coincidence. Watch part 2, this is all going to make sense really soon. Okay, so the Oyster character in the book does not wear shoes, he has dirty feet, he refuses to eat out of plastic containers, and he doesn't eat meat. He preaches about veganism. He goes on these rants about how people don't deserve to be on the earth, and how he would be willing to off himself and his girlfriend if it meant bringing about a better place for, like, the environment, if that makes any sense, okay? Here is the passage in which he gets locked out of the car, because he assaults someone. Strange. And here's where he says, these are like his final words as he's getting locked out. He says, "You can forget me, but that doesn't mean I don't still exist. For whatever reason, the first gypsy moth that flew out a window in Medford, Massachusetts comes to mind. Keep in mind this moth." Basically, because of the way that the book is written, the characters are able to pass in and out of each other's bodies. So at the end of the book, Mona and Oyster, the boyfriend and girlfriend who went on this cross-country road trip together, both end up missing. Neither of them are killed, they are both missing, and that's how the book ends. This is literally the last page of the book, or second to last page, and it says, "To find Mona and Oyster, you only have to look for the Fantastic for Miracles, the amazing tabloid headlines." There are headlines about Gabby and Brian right now in the tabloids. "The young couple seen crossing Lake Michigan on foot in July. Their trip took place between June and August, which includes July." Very strange, okay? Now I'm going to try and make some connections. Here's Brian's Instagram page back a year ago in 2020. All of his captions were pretty average, short, normal Instagram captions. There's another one, and this is when he first moves into the van with his girlfriend, okay? 1 year ago. As they take this cross-country trip, his Instagram captions start getting longer and kind of stranger. They are all about nature and using different wording than he previously did. Here he says, beautiful park with an unfortunate infestation of human beings. This is very similar to something Oyster would have said in Lullaby. This entire caption is about avoiding plastic containers and plastic waste. This is his last Instagram post before he vanished and his girlfriend went missing. It's all about how humans basically don't deserve to be on this earth. Okay, I know I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist right now, but this is all going to tie together. Watch part 3, and I'm showing you the body cam footage where this starts to get really weird. Okay, I'm sorry this is taking for freaking ever. I'm just trying to be thorough because I don't want anything to go unnoticed. Okay, now I'm gonna play the body cam footage. Also, ignore my hair. I have a hair mask in, please. But, in the footage, there's just so many points in which his characteristics line up with Oyster, like, in such peculiar ways that I just cannot explain it. In this first clip, they have just run out of water, Brian and Gabby. They're in the middle of a desert. It's 100+ degrees out, and they are being questioned by the police. So, I don't know why he would turn down water, but he states that it's because he doesn't like plastic containers, just like Oyster. Like, I don't care how much you don't like plastic. If you're in the desert in 100+ degrees, you're probably gonna accept a water.
You need any water? It's okay. It's hot out here. I was telling we were going to get water because it ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't like plastic bottles.
Okay, could just really be into saving the planet, I guess, but here's another strange coincidence. Just like Oyster was abandoned and left by the group on this road trip, Brian states in the footage that his big fear is that Gabby's gonna go off and take the van and leave him on the side of the road, basically, just like Oyster.
Well, I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere, and my big fear is, I don't have my phone, I don't have my phone, so she goes off without me. I'm on my own.
Also, very strange that he's laughing and smiling throughout this whole incident while his girlfriend is literally hysterical. Now, this is the weirdest part. I noted that Oyster had dirty feet, like it specifically says that, and that he walks around barefoot everywhere. Gabby posted this on July 30th. Brian hikes barefoot everywhere we go. If it were up to him, he wouldn't own any shoes. In fact, when the police are called, because of this whole domestic violence incident, Brian claims that the entire disagreement stemmed from the fact that he had dirty feet.
Disagreement about? It was, I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just, I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty like I got dirty.